It tells me that you're committed to growing. And it tells me that you are looking for something bigger for yourself. Right? So congratulations for being here. I acknowledge you. I honor you. Please give yourselves a round of applause. All right, so this workshop is going to be about 1.5 hours of training, and then we'll do 30 minutes of Q&A. Of course, if there are no questions, which somehow I doubt, we can always end earlier. But on that note, for all of you listening, I understand that you might be in a place where your background is too busy, or you might have half-naked family members walking around. And if that's the case, you're turning it off, please leave it off, right? But on that note, because this is ultimately a training, and this is a conversation as well. Being able to see your face will let me know whether what I'm saying is clear, whether you understand what I'm saying or not. And for those of you who might be new to Zoom, if you look at your Zoom toolbar, I think it should be at the bottom of your screen, there's this thing called chat, right? So I will be using the chat a fair bit to get a sense of what all of you are thinking, any questions that you have, so and so forth. So you know what? Let's just get started on this, right? So let's just take a minute to use the chat and perhaps write what's one thing you want to get out of today's workshop, okay? Just one thing. If you want to give me 10 things, that's fine. But one thing at least. What's one thing you want to get from this workshop? All right? I have slides and I have something planned, but if that's not what you came for, I don't want to leave you empty-handed, right? I want to give you the best of what I know in whatever measure I can do it. So just put it on there. I'll see how I can adjust my material to help you get what you came for, okay? Oh, wow. Confidence to speak in front of huge audience. Okay, thank you. Tri Hugh, am I saying it right? I don't know how to read accents yet. I'm learning, right? From Pink, courage to speak confidently. Okay, got that. From Isael, did I say it right? Isael? Okay. Isael or Isael? I-E? I-E. Okay, I can't really tell.
Isael, it's okay.
Isael, okay.
Yeah,
got it.
right.
Isael.
Got it, right.
Okay, to become more effective. Got it. Rosie, speaking confidence. From Hanim, get better at facial expressions. Okay. Yeah, we'll have a little bit of fun doing that. Right? Okay. From Tom, adapting you to using Zoom. I can cover that in the Q&A because that's not really the point of this presentation, right? But all the same, the tips that you get here for confidence will be applicable on a real stage and over Zoom. Okay. Let's see. From Tra, okay, I want to learn how to sustain confidence for every speech. Mine seems quite unstable. Okay, thank you for your honesty there. And it's true, right? Especially if you see the audience start to fall asleep, you know, you get a hit in your confidence, right? What can you do to level it up? So we'll be talking about that as well. Okay, from Natalia, captivate more in speeches. Well, we can look at how to do that with body language, okay? And how to teach better from Galaxy J7 Pro. Yeah, if you're driving, please listen. If you need to, you can unmute and chat. Please don't type, don't get into an accident. Your safety is more important than this workshop. Okay? But all the same, I hope that you can hear what I'm saying. Okay, so I think that's more or less everyone. If you need more or if questions come up for you, right, feel free to either put it in the chat or keep it till the end of the session. We can use the Q&A for me to answer your questions, okay? Are we good? If you're good, give me a thumbs up. You can use the reactions or through a camera. Okay, great. Good, let's begin. I'm so excited. Oh, host disabled attendee screen sharing. Can I get some assistance with that, please? Make me a co-host. Aha, I think I can do that now. And here we go. Okay, can you all see the slides? Yeah, if you can, give me a thumbs up. Okay, great. Okay, wow, this is super exciting. Okay, so quite simply, thank you to Tra for the invitation, and of course to Hanoi Speakers and Hue Toastmasters for organizing this workshop. And I think it's Division V as well, right? In District 97. Yeah, I went to District 97 convention once. It was really interesting. And I'm just glad to be able to contribute by giving this workshop. Okay, so what you're going to get out of today's workshop, quite simple. We're going to learn how to create yourself as a speaker. Now, I don't know if this means anything to you, but how many of you actually think I'm going to be this kind of speaker, or I'm going to be that kind of speaker. Have you thought about that before? Or have you just thought, I just kind of want to speak, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal. But you'll find that the most successful speakers and the most confident speakers create themselves as a speaker. And we're going to look at a little bit of how to do that today, okay? Also, we'll look at the ABCs of confidence. Now, confidence is such a huge, huge topic, right? So I've broken it down into very simple, the really simple ABCs. And of course, if it works for you, do more of it. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it, right? What works for me usually works for most people, but if you're special, don't worry. Take what you need and leave the rest behind, okay? And of course, last but not least, some tips to maximize your body. And it's really interesting, right? Especially now with Zoom. It's hard because we're all sitting in front of the camera. It's hard to keep moving your hands like this so that people can see your gestures. So we're going to address some of that as well, not just on Zoom, but also in the real life stage context, okay? So far, so good. If you're good, just nod your head so I can see that we're good. Okay, great. Oh, this is so much fun. This is so much better than contest. When I was taking part in the contest, all cameras had to be off. I felt like I was talking to a camera. I felt like I was pleading to a captor, you know, like to free me from this prison. Terrible experience. Anyway, since I have this 1.5 hours or 2 hours with you, is it okay if I share a bit about myself? Right, have you seen, you can see this picture, right? Okay, so use the chat. Tell me, how old do I look? How old do I look? Okay, I see 13. Any more? 12, 10, 5. Wow. 30? Really? Wow. Okay. 15, 11, 9, 12, 15, 11, 14. Okay, 12. It seems like the average is somewhere between 11 and 12, right? Well, the truth is, at the point of this picture, I was 15. And so you can imagine, all the girls, or rather all my friends in class had boyfriend, girlfriend, but me, I was so tiny. I was maybe about 1.4 meters. How many feet is that? Less than 5 feet. I had a squeaky voice, which sounded something like that. So puberty came to all my friends and not me. And every time I liked a girl, I would muster up all my courage, find whatever confidence I have. I'll go to her and I'll ask, will you be my girlfriend? But always I get the same answer. Oh, you're just like a little brother to me. I don't want to spoil the friendship. You know what if something happens? And I can see some of you in the audience laughing. Yeah, you must be those girls, right? Rejecting guys on a regular basis. Friend zoning. All right, so for the guys who've been there and felt that, yeah, I feel you, right? You can imagine what that did to my confidence, right? Being rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even more times than that. And after a while, you just kind of figure out, hey, you know what? Maybe this is not for me. And after I turned 16, 17, I couldn't even look people in the eye. I would have conversations with their shoes. Because if I look at their eyes, I might hear the same, oh, rejection. And it's not easy, isn't it? That feeling of rejection. But then something changed. And in Singapore, we have this mandatory military service, right? All boys age of 18 and above, they have to go for 2 years of army training. And I found myself in the army not knowing what to do next. Interestingly enough, the very first day, they tortured me. They said, you are a maggot. You are the crap that maggots eat. You're the crap. No, you're the maggot that eats crap that other maggots crapped out. Right? And they just broke me down. Whatever pride I had was absolutely gone. But they were very strange. They put motivational quotes on the wall. So while we were getting doing punishment, right, doing push-ups, the quotes would say, like it or don't like it, take it positively and move on. Or the only easy day was yesterday. Tough times don't last, tough men do. And my favorite one, pain is good. Extreme pain is extremely good. And well, after all that pain, I found myself selected to become an officer of the commandos, right? So that means I'm an airborne soldier and I do, well, difficult operations for elite soldiers. And now you might think, but hang on, how could you possibly be an officer leading a company of elite soldiers if you can't look people in the eye? And that's exactly what I thought. And so I started going for trainings. I started to learn how to communicate better. And of course, 2 years ago, I became district champion for my district in Toastmasters for table topics. And this year in Singapore, I became district champion for all 3 contests: international speech, humorous speech, and table topics, right? And I did represent Singapore as well in the World Championships of Public Speaking semifinals. Now, if you're wondering, hang on, how did someone who couldn't even look people in the eye get there, right? And win so many trophies, right? Just proof. There we go. Yeah, but the point is, it's not about the trophies. It's about who you are and what you want. And the only thing that I did, was to say, try. I didn't know how I was going to be an elite soldier. I just tried, step by step, day by day. I attended Toastmasters meetings, table topic by table topic, speech by speech. And this is where I am. So for all of you here today, I need you to know, right? Or some places I've trained. I need you to know that ultimately, you need to try. I can give you all the information. You can say, wow, this is a great workshop. But then if you log off Zoom, tomorrow you attend your club Toastmasters meeting and they ask, who wants to speak table topics? And your hand doesn't go up. Then nothing changes. Okay? So some quick guidelines for today, right? Please participate fully, right? The idea of participation is that the more you try, the more you grow, okay? Next, of course, take notes, take pictures, screenshots, whatever you want. And if you want the slides, feel free to email me. I will send you the slides, okay? I will send you the slides. That's a promise. And I'll give you my email at the end of this session, okay? Yep, this is also a safe space. Some of you might have some challenges with regards to speaking. So let's just protect and preserve this meeting so that we keep each other's privacy, right? Let's not tell each other stories outside of the room. And listen newly. All of you, or some of you might be really experienced Toastmasters. With your experiences, by all means, I invite you to suspend your judgment for a while and consider, what if I did things from a different perspective? Maybe then you can grow your own skills, okay? Ask questions. Yes, please ask questions. I don't know what you don't know, but I know what I know. And if you let me know what you don't know, I will help you know what you don't know, you know? Okay. And of course, last but not least, have fun, right? If not, what's the point? I hope you haven't attended too many Toastmasters trainings where it's really boring and only one person talks for 2 hours, right? I want you guys to participate. I want you to talk as well. And so that we can all have fun. When you're having fun, that's when we grow the most, okay? Are we good? If we are good, can you type okay in the chat? Do we all agree? Okay, 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 great, okay, 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 okay. All right, so let's carry on. Okay, so quite simply, just so you know, I know you're here to learn because you're not here to be a mediocre speaker. You're not here to be an average speaker. You're here to be a peak performing speaker, right? So there's 3 things you need to take note of, right? The first thing is mindset. Why mindset? Because, and I'm just going to ask, right? Raise your hand if you think that you are not a great speaker. If you don't think that you're a good speaker, raise your hand. None. That's great. And who thinks I am going to become a great speaker? Going to become a great speaker. Okay, I see a few more hands. And I assume the rest of you are driving. Either that or you won't raise your hands no matter what I say. Okay, but that's all right. The idea here is mindset. Imagine Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer with the most Olympic gold medals ever. What do you think goes on in his mind? Does he think, I'm a champion? Or does he think, I don't know if I'll win this race. I hope just not to drown.
Okay.
What's his mindset like? Yeah, it's probably the first one, isn't it? So the idea here is if you don't think you're a good speaker, chances are you won't practice speaking. You won't want to speak. You're like, I can never be a great speaker anyway. And no matter how much of everything else you have, you're not going to grow, right? So do look at your mindset, and we'll look into that for a little bit for this session, okay? Next, knowledge. Of course, you need to know. How can you be a peak performer if you don't know how? And that's why in this workshop, I'll be giving you as much knowledge as I can. Okay, quite simple. Anyone know what's the last factor? Right, use the chat. Guess what's the last factor?
Practice.
Practice? Practice, yes, but that's an action. That's not a factor. Exactly, from trial, it's skills, right? Your attitudes and your mindset, so that's not entirely wrong, but skills. Okay, and to demonstrate why skills are so important, I'd like all of you, if you're here, right, please turn on your cameras and let's just look in gallery view so we can see everyone, right? We're going to run a little activity here, all right? So turn on your camera, okay, and we're going to run a little activity. Oh, finally, I see all the real faces. So good to see all of you, and some of you from Japan as well, right? Konnichiwa. Is that the right thing to say? Yeah, very, very nice to see you all. Okay, so quite simply, raise your right hand. Oh, konbanwa. Okay, now I'm learning. Raise your right hand. Can you draw a square with your right hand? Yeah? Okay, great. Now raise your left hand. Draw a triangle with your left hand. Quite easy, right? Okay, so what I want you all to do now is with your right hand, draw a square. With your left hand, draw a triangle at the same time. A little bit difficult, isn't it? So you all have the knowledge, you all have the mindset that I can do this. But when it came down to the performance, it didn't work. Why? That's what skill is. And skill comes through practice. Okay, so that's why I want all of you to practice what we learned today. Cool? Are we good? Yes? Okay, let's carry on. So let's see, what is confidence? Or what do you think is confidence? Open question. You can use the chat, you can unmute yourself. What is confidence?
Something I haven't got for myself.
Okay, thank you for your honest definition. And I'm sure that at least by the end of this training, that definition is going to change. Okay. Yeah, the ability to do something comfortably close, feeling like you'll be successful. Okay. Believing in yourself. Any else? What is your idea about what confidence is? Right, the state of believing in your ability. Okay, courage to do things. All right. Any else? Acceptance of oneself and showing your true self. Or when you feel you're the champion. Okay, cool. Fantastic, right? So let's see what the dictionary says. Sorry, it's the state of being certain. Right, the state of being certain. So certain of what? You're either certain of something, someone, or a situation. Right? It's a state of being certain. So you're either certain that you're going to be a champion, or you're certain that people understand what you're saying, or you're certain that if you propose, your partner will say yes. Right? When you're certain, you have confidence. So the question is, if you feel you don't have confidence, then why are you not certain? Why are you not certain? Right? And if that's what confidence is, it's really trust, isn't it? When you have confidence in someone, you trust that someone's going to be okay. You trust that someone's going to be able to do what you need them to do. So if that's the case, you can also think of it perhaps as faith, right? For all those of you who perhaps are fairly religious, yeah, you trust that God is watching over you in whatever form. You have faith. But what then is self-confidence? Simple question, huh? What's self-confidence? Well, quite simply, trust in yourself, isn't it? So that's the question. Do you trust yourself? This reminds me of an interesting story I heard. It's a story about this golden Buddha, or rather this clay Buddha actually. So in Thailand, true story by the way, in Thailand, there's this clay Buddha, a huge Buddha. I think it's like 6 meters tall, 3 meters wide, something like that. And this clay Buddha was in the town. And one day the town was expanding. And so they decided we have to move this Buddha statue. And so the contractor came, he took big chains and he chained up the Buddha and tried to lift the Buddha. And it cracked. And so the foreman was really worried because he's a religious person. He went to examine the damage on the Buddha. And he saw, hey, seems to be something shining inside. And so upon closer inspection, they peeled off the layers of clay to find a solid gold Buddha, right? And this Buddha, as I understand, is worth about $5 million to $10 million in gold, right? It currently sits in a temple in Bangkok. But what's the story here? The story is that about 400-500 years ago, that Buddha sat in the middle of a temple. And Burma was invading Thailand. And the monks couldn't move that super heavy Buddha. So they covered it up with clay to make sure that the Buddha wouldn't be taken away. And when the Burmese troops invaded, they killed every single monk. And that secret stayed hidden for 500 years until that day. But why am I telling you this story? It's because I believe that inside each and every one of you is a golden Buddha, right? Inside each and every one of you is a person with tremendous value, tremendous abilities, tremendous potential to make a difference. It's just that somewhere along the way, maybe someone covered you up with clay. For me, it was all the different rejections. Oh, you're not good enough. You're a little brother, blah, blah, blah. Or my teachers who told me, you are stupid. You should sit down and shut up. I covered myself with clay. Who covered you with clay? Did you cover yourself with clay? Is that why you don't trust yourself? And if that's the case, we need to look even deeper. Let's see, right? I have 3 statements here, and we'll see whether you agree or disagree with the statement, all right? I see from Antonio, hi, what's happening? Well, we've just started the training, so welcome. Feel free to turn on your camera so that I can see your handsome face, I think, Antonio. Okay, so statement number 1, some people are born to speak and others are not. What do you think? Yes or no? Let's see how everyone thinks. Something no, no. Yes or no? No, 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 no. Yes. Yes, no, no. Yes, it's a no. Okay, got it. Yes, sometimes. Okay, so it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because some people seem like, wow, they can speak and they can, talk so persuasively that mountains will move for them. They must be born with it, right? How come we aren't? But perhaps, let me ask you. It's practice, isn't it? When you were born, did you think twice, like you were hungry as a kid? Should I cry? Oh, if I cry, mom will scold me. I better not cry. As a baby, did you think like that? Okay, got a physical reaction there. Okay, so yeah, you probably, and nobody tries to cry in a glamorous way, like no, when you cry, you cry. And so we are all born to express, right? And if we are born to express, speaking is just one form of expression. It's just that somewhere along the way, maybe you heard something from your parents, like children should be seen and not heard. Or maybe we learned that we shouldn't make noise, in public. We shouldn't inconvenience others. But somehow, somewhere, we feel like we've forgotten how to speak, right? But you can practice. Yeah, exactly what Alice says, right? It's between the fixed and a growth mindset. If you believe that you're not born to speak, that's a mindset issue, right? It's very clear. But you can become good at speaking through practice. In my journey, I was for international speech, right? I've never made it past the area. Okay, I've never made it past the area in the last 7 years as a Toastmaster. This year, because I decided, you know what? I want to be a world champion. I'm going to do what it takes. I started practicing. I started getting a lot of feedback and evaluations. I spoke at clubs around the world. And I got to the semifinals. Well, I'm not world champion yet, but from area contest all the way to semifinals, it's quite a big gap. That's what I got from practice. And if I can get there, I'm sure you can as well. Okay? Let's look at the second statement. How many of you think public speaking is for extroverts only? If you agree, type yes. If you don't agree, it's no. Yes, no, 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 hell no. Okay? Seems like a lot of no's here. I'm guessing that those who said no's are introverts, right? Yeah, see, yeah. Interesting what Antonio says, right? Public speaking is for introverts actually. How come? Well, take a look at Donald Trump. Is he an extrovert or an introvert? Looks more extrovert, right? He's like got all these big actions, like he's all in that space. And sometimes, maybe it's just me, but sometimes I don't understand half the thing he says. And other times, I'm not even sure if what he says makes sense, right? Maybe we should ask Natalia, if they build a wall, will Mexico pay for it? Yeah, exactly. How does that make sense? But all the same. So maybe it's where introverts think deeper. And introverts can communicate more effectively because of what they think before they say. So introverts can speak powerfully too, right? Not to say that extroverts are not good. That's not true. I think I'm an introvert. People think I'm an extrovert. So I guess I'm probably somewhere in the middle. Ambivert. As long as I'm not a pervert, that's okay, right? So let's see. What are some of the introverts? Let's see if you know them, right? These are some powerful introverts. What's his name? Yeah, Gandhi, right? He led India to independence. What about this guy? Sir Winston Churchill. Yeah, he led Britain to victory in the war, right? In World War II. What about this guy? Yep, Obama. What about this guy? Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. gave some of the most moving speeches. It's been 50 years since his death and people still talk about having a dream, right? I have a dream. How powerful. Even this guy was an introvert. Now, I'm not saying that what he did was great, but yeah, as an introvert, he had such a powerful voice and he was famous for being able to move emotions. You can go onto YouTube and just search Hitler's speech, the way he speaks. And the crowd goes, so you can do it too, even if you're an introvert. Okay? Oh yeah, he did thousands of speeches easily. Okay, let's look at statement number 3. How many of you think that this is something you would say? Is this something you would say? If yes, say yes. If no, say no, or sometimes. Got that? No, no, yes, sometimes, sometimes, yes. And the rest are not sure, right? So those who are not saying anything, I take it as a no because they think that their response is not worth saying. But that's not the truth. If it wasn't, I wouldn't ask. Okay, so let's see. Your words could literally change your life. Now, I remember this incident for my fiance, right? She's not in the room at the moment. She's heard me doing too many workshops. But I remember when she first joined as a Toastmaster, I think it was 11 years ago, she had such terrible stage fright that every time before her speech, like 1 week before her speech, she would start getting a fever because she's resisting. She's like, why did I promise my VP to speak? What am I doing? And then the night before, she'll just be working on her speech. She'll be working on it, and crying at the same time. She'll be like, good evening, Club President. And she'll cry and cry for hours. And then the next day, during the chapter meeting, she'll win the best speaker ribbon. And then they'll ask her, hey, one more speech? Yeah, okay, I need to break out this fear. And so once again, 1 week before that, she gets sick. Then she cries the night before, and then she wins the best speaker ribbon. And then she took part in a contest for the very first time in her 3rd year, right? Her very first contest. She made it all the way to the district and came in 3rd place. And then she never competed again for a while because she thought, I only competed because people asked me to compete. Now no one's asking, I don't want to compete anymore. But just 2 years ago, someone she didn't recognize came up to her and said, hey, you're that, her name is Shu Chen, by the way. You're that Shu Chen, right? I remember that contest in that year. Your speech in 2012, I remember it so clearly. It gave me the confidence to live more powerfully. Thank you so much. So here's the thing. She never had an idea that's what she wanted to do. She never had an idea that, she's out there to change lives or that people want to listen. All she did was she took part in a contest because a club president forced her to. That's all. And her words did make an impact. So for all of you here, your words can literally change lives. If you're in an office meeting, right, maybe it's a brainstorming session with perhaps, some big bosses around, and they say, Ping, what do you think about this proposal? And Ping's like, huh? Why are you asking me? I'm not a manager. But if your view is not important, why would they ask you? Right? You think they want to waste time? No. So you have value and your words are worth sharing. You don't need the whole world to love your speech. It's impossible, right? I spoke in so many clubs around the world. Yeah, not everybody loves my speech. I got that. But those who loved it. Good enough for me. I don't need everyone to like me, but if I can make a difference to just one person, that's enough. Okay? So all of you here, I'm sure, very sure, and I'll put my life on it, have people that care about you, have people that will benefit from your wisdom, have people that will benefit from your experience. I can bet my life on that. That someone will listen to what you want to say because only you can tell your story. Okay? All right, so let's move on. A little activity now, right? So if you're on the computer, maybe you can run Microsoft Word at the same time, or if you've got a notepad, let's work a little bit here, right? Work a little bit on yourself. You don't have to share it with anyone if you don't want to, but I do want you to think about these questions, okay? First thing, what are your beliefs about public speaking, right? Just take about 10 or 20 seconds, just write it down. What are your beliefs about public speaking? Or our friend who was driving, please don't write it down. Please drive safely. Okay, got that. It's for successful people. Okay. Or to empower, all right. Can be improved. Okay, thank you, Alice. Yeah, it's about telling something from the heart about something good. Okay. It's about spreading interesting ideas. Is it scary? Is it difficult? At first, it's not. It's about persuasion. Sometimes, okay, I got that. Right? So examine your beliefs here. And next question, how do you see yourself as a speaker? Got that, can be improved. How do you see yourself as a speaker? Or what kind of speaker do you see yourself as? Are you a humorous speaker? Are you a nervous speaker? Are you a little speaker? Are you a commanding speaker? Are you a persuasive speaker? Inspired, motivation, got that. Teacher, okay. Yeah, so how do you see yourself as a speaker? Now, this is an interesting question, right? Because a lot of us don't really see ourselves as a certain type. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be one type. But do you see yourself as an inspirational speaker? Or do you see yourself as a nervous wreck? Moment of truth, right? Okay, let's see. What about the next question? What happened that made you feel this way? If you've got some negative beliefs here, like, oh, I think public speaking is for other people, not me. Or, I'm not a confident speaker. Or, oh, I get confused when I speak. Or, I have awkward voices. Or, my English is not good enough, whatever, right? What happened that made you feel this way? So why do you not believe in yourself? What happened? Right? So, comparing with other speakers, yeah, not a good idea. Yeah, judgments of others. Okay. Right. If I can share my story, it wasn't just the girls, in fact. What happened for me was when I was in primary 1, my first day of school, 7 years old. My very first day in math class. My teacher asked the class, how many of you know the numbers 1 to 10? I raised my hand, me. She said, stand up. What is 7 minus 3? So I counted with my fingers, right? Because I'm 7 years old. 7 minus 3, 5. And my teacher said, you are stupid. You should sit down, shut up and listen. And ever since that day, I never raised my hand in class because I'm stupid. I'm supposed to sit down, shut up and listen. And that carried on with me for 12 years of school. Yeah, they do. Teachers are mean. Maybe with love, right? Maybe with love. But perhaps the idea then is, they said it then. Why are you still living like that now? Am I still stupid and I should sit down, shut up and listen all the time? Maybe not all the time. What about you? Did someone say you're a terrible speaker? How long ago was that? Did someone laugh at you in class because you gave the wrong answer? Have you forgiven yourself for that? You're not the same person anymore, right? And yeah, last question, who told you so? Sometimes it's parents, sometimes it's teachers, but ultimately, if you believe them, then you tell yourself so. Yeah. So if you believe yourself, why don't you tell yourself something different so that you can believe something even better? Yeah, from Tuan, thank you for your honesty, right? And Tui. Yeah, it's time for a change. So let's take a look. What shall we do next? Remember that Napoleon Hill, this is the guy who wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich. He was not a famous person, well, before he wrote the book. But what he did was he interviewed hundreds and hundreds of the most successful and famous people. And he found out that their secret to being rich was to think. That's why it's think and grow rich. And so if just by thinking you can grow rich, how about as a speaker? What dominates your thoughts when you go on stage? Right? When they say your name, for example, let's welcome to stage, Rosie. Are you, yay? Or are you, oh? Right? What are your dominating or predominant thoughts? And by the way, there's nothing wrong with feeling the dread or the fear, especially table topics. Let's see. How about Ivan? Right? And if this is Zoom, I'm going to pretend, oh, I'm not there. Right? You can do that on Zoom, but you can't do that in real life. Right? Is that your dominant thought? Or is your dominant thought going to be, you know what? I'm just going to give it a go. I'm going to have fun. Okay? All right. So let's carry on. So let's create, right, the speaker that you're going to be. Now I'm excited. Answer this question. What kind of speaker would I love to be? Right? I mean, ask yourself this question, right? Don't tell me what kind of speaker you want me to be. What kind of speaker do you want to be? You can use the chat. You can write it down yourself. What kind of a speaker? I got that, a motivational speaker. What else? Okay, humorous. Are you a well-respected? Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's very sweet. A respected speaker, an authentic speaker, a powerful speaker, a scary speaker. Funny thing, my fiance, right? She always says, oh, Kin is good at making people laugh. But me, I'm good at making people cry. True story. Every time she does a contest speech, someone in the audience will cry. That's like a superpower. She makes people cry. Luckily, not me. Okay? So what kind of speaker would you love to be? And how would you love to be on stage? What I mean here is, how would you like to be on stage? Would you like to be, wow, you know, you're energetic, you're powerful, you're like glowing, literally. You're like, oh, and when you say, stand up, everybody stands up. You know, what kind of speaker? Or how would you love to be on that stage? Right? Take a minute and just visualize that. How would you love to be every time you're on stage? I see from Machiko, okay? Content stays in the audience's memory. From 3, charismatic. Right? From 2, to freely share what you believe. You want to be cool. Okay, so Antonio's going on stage with sunglasses, right? It's like, yo. Okay? Right, just visualize that feeling. Like what's happening there on stage. Okay? And how will your audience react? How will your audience react? When you're speaking, what happens? Are they looking at you? Are they hungry to listen to you? Or are they just texting on their mobile phones? Yeah, how do they react to you? Yeah, positively, like how? They admire you like, wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, good. Yeah, so now you can start to visualize that happening, right? Okay, good. So now you have a better sense of how you're going to be on stage. Now the thing is, of course, thank you, Machiko, right? They won't lose their concentration. Okay. So do note that thinking is not enough, right? This is just one part of it. You have to see it first. And when you can see it, it can start to happen. The same way how this swimmer, Michael Phelps, right? I talked about him earlier. In the 2008 Beijing Olympics, I think it was the 100-meter butterfly. When he jumped into the water, when he went, he jumped in the water, something was wrong and he knew it. Water was seeping into his goggles. Somehow it wasn't tight. But then he just swam and he swam to the point that he couldn't see. But he just swam anyway. And when he did the return lap, he was swimming with his eyes closed. And when he touched the scoreboard, pop, he touched the wall, right? Apparently, he won the race, another gold medal. But they asked him, hang on, if you couldn't see, how could you still get a world record performance, I'm not sure whether what I call. How can you get an Olympic gold performance? And he said, well, before every race, I visualize. I listen to my same song, and as I'm doing that, I close my eyes, I visualize exactly how many strokes I pull. And I know at the end of the first lap, I pull about 17 strokes. So at the 17th stroke, I just flipped and I kicked the wall. On the return lap, I usually do about 22 to 24 strokes. So at 22 and a half, I did a long stroke and I touched the wall. Did it absolutely blind. But he's been swimming every stroke because of his visualization. And so what you've just done here, this visualization, is something that you can do before you go on stage every time. The more you see this in your mind happening, the clearer it becomes. The easier it is for you to do because you've done it before. Okay? So I'm just going to share just a little snippet here, right? What I did to build my confidence. Before I became a speaker, I was actually trading the stock market, right? After graduating, I didn't know what I wanted to do. My dad said, you know what? Don't work. I'll teach you how to trade. So I sat next to my dad for 4 years. I listened to my dad and I talked to my dog because my dog doesn't talk and my dad doesn't listen, right? Not very fun. But 4 years later, I saw this training course called Quantum Leap. You might have heard of it, right? Half Acres Quantum Leap. And I thought, you know what? Maybe there's more to life. I want to see what's in there. And so I found myself attending this course called Train the Trainer. You can see the picture there, right? Given to me by this guru. His name is Frederick Wang. Yeah. By the way, he made a vow not to cut his beard in honor of his father, and he still has it today, as far as I know. So I joined that course not knowing what to expect. But there was this one thing where we had to challenge ourselves. Because to be a trainer, you need confidence to be on stage, right? And so the challenge was do something outrageous. Guess what I did? I wore a Chinese cheongsam for the whole day at the course. And I walked around Singapore Expo. That's quite a fairly busy place, right? Proof. So I wore a dress, put on some heels, wore my friend's dress, and I walked around for the whole day. Now, was it difficult? Yeah. I mean, all the guys here, would you do that? I see all the, yeah, you can do it, not me. I'm not confident. But the funny thing is, what I got from this experience, oh, thank you, Tui. But sexy for the wrong reasons. I didn't shave my legs. Okay, the point here is, what I discovered that day, there were all kinds of people there. Some of them looked at me and said, hey, are you gay? Right? Some other people said, hey, that's so cool. Hey, high five, man. I love the hairy legs and the hairy armpits too. Right? And then maybe there were kids who, Mommy, why is that man wearing a dress? And the parents, shh, 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 don't look, don't look. But no matter the reaction that I got, I learned one thing. And that is, whatever everyone else thought of me doesn't change who I am. What, just because someone thinks I'm gay, I must become gay? No, right? I'm very clearly not gay. I love my fiance, right? And I'm 100% straight. So because I'm straight, I have the confidence to pull this off without caring what other people think of me. After this incident, confidence was no longer an issue for me. So all the guys here, if you want to try wearing a dress and going outside, right? Please wear a mask for social distancing, okay? Yeah, keep yourself safe. Oh, best costume. Ah, thank you, Christian, for sharing. Yeah, it's pretty fun. So don't take yourself too seriously, right? This is one of the things I did. Put yourself out there, do something ridiculous, and when you realize, hey, you know what? Nobody cares. You find that, hey, actually, maybe it's okay to be yourself. Okay? Yeah, so let's go into the meat of this, the ABCs. What's the A? Dun, 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 dun. Any guesses? What does A stand for? Don't say actively. Is it attitude? Good try. It's true. When you believe yourself, what others think doesn't matter. Half of the world hates Donald Trump. He's still president, right? He doesn't care. Yeah. A is for apple. For confidence, I'm not sure whether eating apples gives you confidence. You can try it out and let us know how it goes. Asking yourself, authentic, let's see. Start with affirmations. So what are affirmations, right? The idea of affirmations is, you see, in daily life, maybe because we all want to grow or we're all perfectionists, especially in Asian society, right? I remember getting 95 marks for a math test. And then my mom scolded me. Why did you get 5 marks wrong? But I got 95, it's an A, right? Why are you not first in class? No, actually, that's not my mom. That's my friend's mom. Yeah, but she scolded me anyway. So don't be too perfectionist, right? Start looking at affirmations. Now, what are some affirmations that you can do? So this is what I did when I first started out, right? Not knowing how to train, not knowing how to speak. I started out with things like this. I inspire others to inspire. Now, that's my personal mission. I invented it in like 2013, and it's been with me ever since. In 2013, I was a 6-month-old Toastmaster. I didn't know how I was going to inspire others. I hadn't conducted a single training, but I just thought, you know what? It'll be cool if I can inspire other people and have them inspire other people. Because if I'm just inspiring, after I'm dead, then it stops. I want to inspire other people so that they can go out and inspire even more people. I want to make this world a better place. So I had that in mind. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I said it every day. And today, this is my career. I go around coaching people to speak, to inspire others, right? If you like it, take it. If you don't, that's fine, right? Maybe your affirmation is, I am overflowing with love. That's quite a nice one too, right? So what are your affirmations for yourself? This is another one of mine. I add value to everyone I meet. Now, can I just check in? Have you been getting value so far from this workshop? If yes, please give me a yes. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, see, it's good to receive affirmation too. Thank you for your kindness, all right? Yeah, so this is what I aim to do. No matter where I go, what I'm doing, who I'm speaking to, I aim to add value to everyone I meet. I might not be the smartest in the room. I might not be the most qualified, but that's okay. I'll find some way to add value. I like this one too. I see the best in everyone. That way, I try not to judge other people. And as a result, what happened? Now people tell me secrets. It's very strange. Like, you know, in Chinese culture, there's this thing called a xiongdi, right? For weddings. So the boys will have their group of sort of like groomsmen as brothers, and they have to undergo certain trials to retrieve the bride on the wedding day. Because of this, I have friends who I haven't met for 5-6 years. They ask me to be their xiongdi, to be the brother for the wedding. So weird. You don't talk to me for 5 years, you ask me to be a brother. But okay. If that's the impact I leave on you, I'm going to add value to you. And they tell me their secrets. It's really strange. This is another one I do. I create results for my clients. I'm not here to waste time, right? Everything that I'm doing has a purpose. Everything in every training has a purpose so that I can create results. That's why I was saying, I don't want all of you to come to this training, listen, wow, it's good, then go back and do nothing, right? There's no result. I want to create results. I am enough. So these are just my affirmations.
So these are just my affirmations. We need more.
Oh, I heard my own self echo. How interesting. Oh, no more. Okay, cool. So on that note, yeah, what about your affirmations? Try to write your affirmations in this way. Oh, did I misclick? Ay. Notice here that it's as if it's written in the present. I inspire, I add, I see, I create, I am. Please don't write it as I am going to be enough. No. It's not that you are going to be. You already are. Your mindset is not about changing the future. It's about changing the you right now. I am enough. I add value. I create power. I help people laugh. Okay, so let's use the chat here, right? Let's see if anyone would like to share some of their affirmations. Is there anyone who would like to share their affirmations? Oh, my apologies, some technical difficulty there. Ay, ay, ay.
I think maybe one example could be like, I can be a creative speaker.
Yeah, or not I can be, I am.
Oh, I am. Well, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You see, the difference is if you say, I can be a creative speaker, then you're thinking, okay, can I be creative for this one? Nah, okay, maybe not this one. But you say, I am a creative speaker. That's who you are. This is how you build your identity. Oh, right? Okay, I see. Let's see. I am enough is challenging to adopt. It's true. It's challenging, but so here's how human psychology works, right? They say that the believability of a statement requires you to hear it 6 times. So maybe the first time you hear that, let's say, I don't know, what's a good one? Okay, so maybe you hear that coronavirus is deadly. Maybe the first time you hear it is like, what is that? The second time you hear it, coronavirus. The third time, what is coronavirus? By the 6th time you've heard it, yeah, coronavirus is deadly. And it's clear, right? So many deaths around the world. Very unfortunate. But how we believe some of these statements and how it enters the mind is you have to listen to it at least 6 times. And after that, the more you hear it, the stronger it becomes. So don't take my word for it. Try it. What about your own affirmations? Right? From 3, I'm an inspiring speaker. Try saying that to yourself in the mirror. Every morning when you brush your teeth, every night when you brush your teeth. Let's see what happens in 30 days. Schedule your speech with your VPE after that. We'll see whether your inspirational speech works or not. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So from Tuan, right? I am able to. No, don't say I'm able to. Straight away, I create positive change wherever I go. Right? There's a difference between I am able to speak well and I speak well. You hear the difference in confidence? So what we're doing here is we're looking at how we're going to shape your patterns of language to shape your own mindset. Okay? Yeah, I can do it. Simple from Natalia. Well done. Yes, you can. Yeah, I see that smile. I know you can. Okay, yeah, from Tom, I'm worth listening to. Okay, lovely. From Mia, yeah, you're exactly where you need to be. Exactly. This workshop is the place where you need to be. Okay, yeah, you bring happiness wherever you go. You inspire other people to live. Fantastic. Okay, so let's move on, all right? So that's A. B, right? Obviously, to build confidence, you have to build competence. Please don't be the person who says, I can do it. And then when you're there, how do I do it? Right? Don't be the person who is all talk and no action. Okay? Yeah. So what are some activities you can do to build confidence, especially in speaking? Obviously, Toastmasters. That's one place. Right? World champion Darren Lacroix. I think it was champion 2001 or 2004. I'm not very sure. He says the secret to speaking well is stage time, stage time, stage time. How much stage time are you getting? Oh yeah, his speech, ouch, right? How much stage time are you getting? If you only get to speak once a month, aren't there other clubs? If your club meets twice a week, maybe you can speak in one meeting, and for the second meeting, you can do Toastmaster of the day, or you can do table topic master, or if you're not speaking, yeah, just do table topics every time. The reason why I have so many trophies up there is because I started attending clubs. I attended 3 to 4 Toastmasters meetings every week, giving evaluations at corporate clubs, giving workshops at corporate clubs, now giving workshops overseas. Well, I'm still in Singapore, but we're overseas, right? We're in Vietnam today. So yeah, speak when you have the chance. It's okay if your workshop sucks. That's okay. Make sure you ask for the feedback, okay? That's what's important, and then you grow. Toastmasters is not really the place, well, to be perfect. Toastmasters is the place to try and fail and grow and fail and grow and fail, so that by the time you go out there, you've already failed so many times, you know exactly what it takes to succeed. Don't be like my fiance and cry every night before your speech. No need. Toastmasters is okay to mess up, okay? Next, online forums, right? Do you post or answer questions in Quora or LinkedIn or YouTube? I try not to go with, what's the other one? Yahoo Answers. They have very weird questions like, how do I be a mermaid? Really, please, I really mean it. Like, yeah, don't answer that kind of question, right? Go for websites such as Quora or maybe expert forums on anything, your area of expertise, whether it is in speaking, in technology, or maybe on LinkedIn, right? Do you write an article on LinkedIn? Or maybe you watch a TED Talk about something. Just practice sharing your thoughts there. Hey, everybody, I watched this video by Eduardo Briceño on how to perform, right, at your best, how to perform better in everything. And I thought that what he said made sense, but I didn't agree with this part. What do you think? Just write something like that and just put it online. How does that help you? Number one, you may not be speaking, but you are training the way you think. You are training the way you communicate. And you are training the way you engage with the audience, right? All this becomes part of your being. Okay? So speak if you can. If you can't, write. This is how you get engaged with language, especially if English is not your first, it's not your primary language, not your mother tongue. That's okay. Who cares if English is your mother tongue or not? All you need to do is deliver a message from your heart to someone else's, or your head to someone else's. You don't really need English for that, right? If I were to go to Japan, I don't know how to eat. I go, you know exactly what I'm saying. It's communication, right? So you don't need good English to communicate well. It helps, yes, but it's not a must. And of course, get your feedback. Get as much feedback as you can. Okay? Are we good so far? Yes? Check in? Okay, great. Okay, last part, C. Celebrate small wins. Okay, what do you mean by small wins? Simple question, right? How much is 1% better every day? Over the course of a year, you might calculate it like this, right? If there's any mathematicians, tell me if I'm wrong. If you're 1% better tomorrow than today, then you have to multiply by 1.01, right? So over a year, that's 1.01 times 365, right? 365 times, sorry. So to the power of 365, that's 37.8 times. Which means that if every time you speak, you just become 1% better, and you speak every day, by the end of the year, you're going to be 37 times better. That's crazy, isn't it? But if you go the other way, you're 1% worse every day. Last week, I did table topics. This week, I don't want to do table topics. And then you keep not doing table topics. Starting at 1, you would fall down to just 3% of who you are. It's not 37% better a year. It's 3,700%. Right? It's 37 times. Which means if you have $1.01, at the end of a year, you have $37.37. Yeah, 37 times. This is serious, right? This is why I've been saying practice, practice, practice. If you need someone to practice with you, don't have anyone, ask your dog, ask your cat, talk to them. They won't say that you're lousy, right? Or if you need feedback, find a buddy. Set up a WhatsApp group, right? I've done that for some of my club members. I do that for the clients that I coach as well, okay? Yeah, my dog doesn't bark when I talk to her. That's why she listens. Okay, so this is a very simple graph, right? Whether you improve or decline. Hello? Yes, Miss iPhone. Come here. Okay, never mind. Let's carry on, right? I'll just do that. Okay, unfortunately, I think that's okay. So coming back to this, right? You can get this from jamesclear.com. So he came up with this idea, he did the math. And I want you all to think about how you can celebrate these small wins. A 1% win is a really small win, isn't it? But celebrate it so you get into the habit of doing it, right? Maybe it's, today I did timer. Or yay, I did a table topic today. I only spoke for 1 minute, but that's okay. The next time I'll go for 1 minute and 5 seconds. Even if I have nothing to say, blah, 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 just do it. Yay, I said blah, blah, blah for 1 minute and 5 seconds. All right, that's another small win. So that you get used to being on stage, right? Celebrate your small wins and they stack up to a huge return in time, okay? Yeah, all those small little trophies, yeah, this year it became 3 big ones, right? 3 district championships and 1 semi-final trophy. Well, no trophy for semi-final. Certificate only for participation. That's okay. Next year, 1 more time. Okay? So next one. Oh, from Zara, I don't know. Maybe the organizers can answer that, right? Will this recording be posted online? Okay, let's move on. Next. Managing your confidence on stage. Now, this is the real deal, right? We talked about how confidence is a state of being certain. What that means is if you're not feeling confident, you can change your state. Okay, what do I mean by that? Let's try another activity time, right? Okay, so if you're there, you can turn on your cameras and we'll just see everybody's reactions here. Okay, yeah, I know this is fun. Right, stretch a little bit, make sure you're still alive. Okay, great. So what I would like all of you to do is put a smile on your face. Okay, stretch out your arms like this. Okay, now I want you to feel sad. Can you feel sad? Okay, relax. Were you able to think of something sad? It's a bit difficult, isn't it? Yeah, it feels weird. Exactly, because what we don't learn in Toastmasters, I mean, we talk about, body language, you must do this, you must do that. But what they don't explain is your body is linked to your mind, which is linked to your emotions. So think about it. If you had some disappointing news, what immediately happens to your body when you're disappointed or you're sad? Yeah, your motion creates emotion and emotion also creates motion, right? But it's harder to control your emotions. So control your motions. Yeah, we crouch down, we hunch our shoulders, we frown, our eyebrows get, close. Yeah. So how you can manage your stage, the simplest way to do it is to use your body, right? And we'll cover that later. But here's some other ways you can do it, right? Start by managing it before you get on stage. So how do you do that? Okay, what are rituals? Now, I'm not saying that this is only for religious people, right? And before everything, you go and burn 2 joss sticks and then you pray to Buddha, pray to God, pray to whoever. No, that's not exactly what I mean. But if it gives you a sense of peace, do it, right? Like one of my rituals, it started when I was just a new speaker. Before every contest speech, I will go to the washroom and I'll vomit. Blah. All the time. Even today, right? I've been a speaker for 8 years. I mean, Toastmasters. I've even made it to the semifinals of the World Championships. Before the contest, I go to the toilet. Blah. But what I tell myself is, that's all the weakness leaving my body. All the weakness is now gone. Now whatever is left is pure awesomeness. And I'm just going to, on stage, I'm just going to have fun. Purely awesome fun. That's one of the rituals I have, right? Other rituals I have, I practice tongue twisters so that I can practice speaking more clearly. In fact, if you would all do this one with me, right? Quite simply, I would like you all to say, she sells seashells by the seashore. You don't have to unmute. Okay. Was it difficult? Was it easy? So, right? So let's have a little exercise now. I would like all of you to stick out your tongue. You don't have to show me, you can cover if you want to, right? But stick out your tongue. So stick it out upwards. Like really feel the stretch on your tongue upwards. Downwards. To one side. And the other side. Okay. And then this part of your jaw, massage it. Okay. Now say it again. She sells seashells by the seashore. Was it clearer? Was that, I see that Isaiah, right? Had a good,
Yes,
it
that
worked
was
for him.
great.
As well. Yeah.
Good.
Was it a
I was
good exercise?
impressed. Yes, that was good. Amazing.
Glad that you got that, right? So these are just some of the rituals that I do, right? Because it sets me up to speak more clearly, to enunciate more clearly, and you just sound better that way. So every time I do those things, I know, oh, I'm going to speak. I do my stretching, I do my warm-ups, I do all sorts of funny things. And of course, I can share more with you maybe later during the Q&A, right? So these are rituals. And of course, if it helps and you're feeling stressed, if you pray to, you know, any God or whoever, go ahead and pray, right? Say, you know what? I've done my best. I leave the rest to you. And it takes all the stress off me. So that's one of the rituals I use, right? Yeah, do what you need to do, right? So that's a ritual. Next, anchors. Now, anchors are very interesting because we don't always or consciously develop anchors. But this is what people who know NLP do, right? They learn how to create anchors based on feelings, words, and emotions, and they put it all together. Now, we're not going to create an anchor today, but earlier you had a vision of yourself speaking powerfully. I did the same exercise with one of my clients who is a great speaker, but weak in table topics. So every time she goes for table topics, she shakes, right? And then I helped her develop an anchor, which looks like this. So this is her anchor. Every time she's worried, she'll imagine that confidence, that feeling of speaking, you know, on a world stage, of being powerful, and she'll just do this. And you can see, right, the nerves, it just calms down. She's like, this is my powerful space. And then she speaks. So that's an anchor. And you can put some of these anchors into your speech as well, right? That's what gestures are for. Some people like the Wonder Woman, right? Some people like the Superman, or they dab, whatever. Yes, bang. So the bang or bang? Bang, right? I cannot hear you. Okay. I'll just call you bang until you tell me it's bang, okay? So, yeah. So an anchor here is, the idea is to anchor a certain emotion to a certain part of your body or a certain action, right? So what one of my friends did on me when he was testing, using me as a guinea pig, is he would always tap my shoulder and then he'll rub it like that. So he'll go tap, 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 and rub. And then he'll always say, I'm here, bro. We can do this. And I always feel very supported. So every time before I go on stage, back then we were working together, when I'll be like stressing, I'm so stressed, I don't know whether this is going to work. He'll just come over and without saying anything, I'm like, yes, I can. You know, the change is instant. So these are what anchors can do for you as well, right? So see if you can create your own anchor. If you're not sure how to do it, yeah, maybe we can talk about it a little more on during the Q&A, or we can arrange for coaching for that. Okay. Next, body movement. Okay, earlier we tried a little bit of body movement, right? We found that, hey, it's hard to feel sad when your arms are out. So for those of you who feel like, oh, you know what, I'm losing confidence on stage, try something like, you know what, let's take a break. Can I have everyone please stretch out your hands? Everyone goes, oh. So number one, you break everyone out of the speech. Number two, you break yourself out of your low confidence. You're like, and everybody follow you, right? Hey, cool, now we're awake, let's carry on. And then you carry on. Simple, right? So use movement. And of course, we're not just talking about stage movement, like, using stage right, stage left, how to look up, down, left, right, looking at the camera. All of these things come together to create and present that confidence, right? So start off with your rituals. Remember your identity, right? Your affirmations. Yeah, go with the anchors. Use body movement. So these are just the simplest of ways. Now, what ways could work for you? I don't know. I generally try not to Wonder Woman too much on stage because I don't feel very womanly, even though I want to dress, right? You find your own body movement, okay? So shall we take a 5-minute break? It's been kind of intense. Or you know what? Let's take a 7-minute break. So the time on my clock now, it's 8:48 Singapore time. So let's make it 8:55 Singapore time, 7:55 Vietnam time. I'm not sure where you are. Let's make it 7 minutes and we'll restart, okay? All right. Thank you, Zara. I'm glad that you're getting something out of this. I'll see you guys in about 6 minutes. Okay, hope you all had a nice break. I think we have 1 minute more. I'll just show you all the slides that you missed. Yeah, so that's managing your states, right? Rituals, anchors, body movement. Oh, thank you, everybody. Yeah, so this is all you missed from here, right? I think that's the last part you saw. Yeah, so that's all. You didn't miss much. Okay, it's 8:55 and we're back. Oh, and if you want to have fun with your voice, right, you can practice doing the WWE or WWF when I first watched it, right? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Confidence and Body Language Workshop hosted by distinguished Toastmaster Kin. Now, you've enjoyed this session so far. We're moving to part 2. Just to see, in case you missed anything, this was the last slide, managing your state through rituals, anchors, and body movement. Okay, so let's move on, right? No more break. Okay, so quite quickly, I'm glad you guys are laughing. I'm having fun doing this as well, right? Remember, have fun. If not, what's the point? Okay, so what's the message? I think some of you might have seen this by accident, but what's the message here? What do you think this guy is saying? Don't yell. Okay, maybe. What else might he be saying? Stop. Idiot. Okay, got that. I sometimes feel like saying that to people. Listen to me. Let's do it. Okay. Take action. Okay, what if he was saying this? Yeah, like what Nya said, I love you or I like you. So question to the audience here, right, all of you. Do you really trust his words? Yeah, I see Tuan shaking her head. Yeah, no. Why not? But he said, I like you, right? So this is one of the reasons why body language is so important. Because if the body doesn't agree with the words, yeah, it doesn't match the face, it doesn't match the body, you're not believable. So many of us, when we end up presenting on stage, we're like, I am a confident speaker. It doesn't look confident at all. Okay, so this is where body language really plays a part, right? In helping you present, in helping you create an impression, create an experience, all right? Let's take a deeper look here. Why was it awkward? Okay, so this quote, right? Non-verbal elements are particularly important for communicating feelings and attitude, especially when they are incongruent. If words and body language disagree, one tends to believe the body language. So what does that mean? This quote was given by this professor called Albert Mehrabian, right? I'm going to type his name here. Albert Mehrabian. You can Google it. And he came up with an interesting rule, right? This rule is called, I'll tell you what the rule is called later, but make a guess. If we had to divide the believability of a message, right, out of 100 points, how believable is body language? Make a guess. Dividing 100 points into these 3 things. Let's see some numbers, just guesses. 60% for body language. What's 90, 10, or 80, 20? So which? There are 3 things here to divide, right? I see 80 from Zara, okay. 69. Is that your favorite number? Okay, well, it's actually 55%. So what that means is, if your vocal tone and the words you say are doing something, but your body is showing something else, no. It's like, for example, I really want to help you. Doesn't look very helpful, right? You'll be like, why is he shaking in anger? Okay. What about vocal tone? How many percent would that be? 38. Yeah, Tui knows this one. Vocal tone, 38%. So this is why vocal variety is important. If you do a sad speech and you're saying, I was so upset when my boyfriend when my girlfriend left me, right? Like the tone doesn't, you don't hear it, you don't feel it, it doesn't connect, right? So vocal tone is important as well. And of course, if you do some math from, yes, Tuan got it right, 7%. So this is why when we craft our speeches, and be honest, right? How many of you craft your speeches choosing only the words, but not looking at your body language and not looking at your vocal tone? Thank you for your honesty, Antonio. So now you know how to be more persuasive. Work on your body, work on your tone. It's not just the words, okay? So yeah, Albert Mehrabian calls this the 55-38-7 rule. It's just something to think about, okay? By the way, just a special for you guys, right? I don't think I've told anyone in this presentation, in other presentations I've done, but according to world champion Ed Tate, right? I hired him as my coach for the recent championships. He told me one of the things you need to do when you prepare for the world championship is you need to watch your video in silence. So you don't hear any words, you just see the body and you watch the hands and the action. And from there, see, hey, what's the emotion there? What's happening? Can you tell what's happening in the story? Does this person look upset? Does this person, no, are you angry? Like what's going on? If, for example, you're saying, I was so angry, but in mute, can you tell there's frustration? Yeah, so that's effective. Versus, when she betrayed me, I was so angry. Not really, right? You can't tell. So this is where congruence and believability come into play. Yeah, or I'm so angry. it's weird. Maybe a humorous speech, yeah, that might work, okay? So let's take a little look here, okay? Body language. As said, right, we need this to create credibility. If you say that you are a great speaker, show it, right? Show with your body, chest out, chin up. You know what, all of you at home, let's try something, right? Let's move our bodies a little bit. Can we try sitting straight, like sit straight, okay? Raise your hands and roll your shoulders backwards a little bit and let it drop to the side. So now your chest should be up, your stomach should be in. Okay. How do you feel now? Do you feel more awake? Not if you do. Or do you feel more sleepy? More awake, right? And now if you look at everybody on the camera, you can see, hey, everyone seems a bit more alert, a little bit more switched on. So this creates the kind of presence that you need, right? When you have a stronger presence on stage, that's part of charisma. Nobody follows the weak person, right? That's strength. Donald Trump does strength very well, okay? Visual anchors. So there are some things you can do with your body, whether with your gestures, with your hands, whatever, to create visual anchors. It's the same reason why these days, most people prefer to watch a video instead of read a wall of text. Why? Because in text, there's no emotion. But when you watch a video, you can see body, you can hear, you see things moving around. That's why I'm sure all of you have probably received feedback about, oh, you know what, you could do better. Maybe you can use different parts of the stage. You can move here to do this and move there to do that. That's all visual engagement. Now, is that necessary for a great speech? Not necessarily, but it can help. For example, in my semi-final speech, I used the area on the right as the before, during, after. Right? Because this is the passage of time. You see it as moving from left to right, isn't it? Yeah. So if you're going back, you go back. How come? Because most of us read from left to right. Okay, different languages and cultures different. Maybe if we were doing this in ancient China, I have to stand taller and then I move down because they read downwards, right? I don't know. But that's how it works. And try this, right? The next time you watch a Hollywood movie, if you see them say, let's go, they always go this way. They never say, let's go, and then they go this way. Yeah, maybe now you, oh yeah. And that's how they frame it. So we're used to some of these little things, but they don't tell you that in Toastmasters, right? That's why we're having a workshop, okay? So anyway, visual anchors. Hope you all learned something there, okay? You can also, perhaps, if you have a strong action. So for my speech, I did stop, look, listen. Stop, look, listen. And after doing this about 11 times in the final version of my speech, at the end of the speech, I just do this. Everyone knows what it is. They hear the words playing in their mind. So that's what a visual anchor does. Okay? Next, of course, to engage emotions. It's one thing to say, okay, let me move back a little bit. It's one thing to say, I'm feeling sad. It's another thing to do, I'm feeling sad. Small difference, right? But sad looks different from sad. And that difference alone is what makes your speech more believable. I know you're trying to memorize the words, yeah, I'm feeling sad. Make sure you feel it and then you show it, okay? So let's move on. Yep, gestures. So some kinds of body language gestures, it's your hands. If you're on Zoom and you're sitting down, make sure that your hands can be seen, at least half of it, if you're seated. If you're standing, what Toastmasters, let me move this a little bit. What Toastmasters does for the contest is they set up the, there we go. They set up the space to be at least until the waist. And when you stretch out your hands, it doesn't have to be the whole thing. This is enough for you to show your range of gestures. So ideally, from your waist and above, right? For your hands, try not to block your face too much. Not a good idea, okay? So that's what your gestures can do. You can also have hologramic gestures, meaning I went to that place, or I saw a beautiful girl, right? Like because she's curvy, you will say, I saw a beautiful girl. Like this doesn't seem very girly. If you like girls like that, well, okay, that's up to you, okay? Or like, oh, a guy with a very nice shape. And then it's like, V shape, right? Not guy with a very nice shape. Okay, that's up to you, right? I'm not going to judge. So that's the idea between for gestures. You can hologram the thing. Or I saw, she was this tall. She was that tall. What a big elephant, right? So that's what your hands can do for you. It's one thing to say, yeah, that dog was really big, or that dog was really big. Was there a difference? Okay, so that's what your hands do for you, okay? Next, your body. Earlier we tried this, the going down, going up. Same thing, right? If you're crouching down and feeling sad, it's hard to think about being happy. So sometimes people say, hey, Kin, I don't want to tell this story because what if I cry? Well, if you cry, that's okay because you can shift your body. So for the speech I prepared for the finals, there's a part where it gets quite emotional when I'm talking about my mom, right? And bless her soul, she's not here anymore. But I talk about a moment that we had. And when I think about that moment, right, it makes me smile. It makes me really, really miss her. And it makes me want to cry. So in that kind of a touching moment, the energy goes down. But when you conclude a speech, do you want it to be more impactful? Or do you want it to be slow? A little bit more impact, right? So shift your body. Immediately you feel that's why, my friends, we have to do this. So use your body to shift your emotions. Okay, yeah, I see Antonio has two extra bodies to help him with body language. Very cool. Okay, and of course, face. Now, face is one of those things that, what happens if you can't move your face? Okay, if your body, or rather, if you use Botox, I'm not sure how to help you. I have no experience with Botox. But otherwise, consider this, right? Your face has so much range of emotions. So let's try this, right? If your cameras are on, we can all see, right? Yeah, can you raise your eyebrows? What does this look like? Right? Is it interested? Surprising? Right? We can bring our eyebrows down. So this is like, thinking. We can go, are you sure? Or if you like The Rock, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, right? If you're not sure how to do that, by the way, I didn't used to be able to do that. One way you can train your eyebrows is take one hand, press down on one eyebrow and move the other one. So what happens is you are stretching the muscle here to dissociate. You're trying to dissociate your muscles so that later you just get that feeling and you can just, yeah, go with one. And then of course you can try the other one. And when you're ready, you should be able to do this. Okay? Yeah, just some simple things. Yeah, all the stuff they never taught you, right? If you're asking me how to move my ears, I don't know. I haven't figured out that one yet. But this one you can do. Yeah, it's not that you do it once, you can do it, right? It's going to take a while because you have to build the muscle and build this one to hold it down. So this is, your hand is helping you develop the muscle. So that's how you work with your eyebrows, right? Then of course, eyes going small, big, your cheeks and your smile. Okay, so how do you move your mouth, right? You can open big, like move left and right. Yeah, so before every speech where you can, warm up your face, especially this part. This is the muscle at your jaw. Yeah. So by massaging it and stretching it, you find that you can have more expression through your face. Okay? Yeah, so smile, frown. So just face alone can tell so much. Okay, after this, we are going to have a little game, right? Just to practice body language. Okay? So let's play a game. Can I have a volunteer? Volunteer can type me. First one to type me in the chat becomes the volunteer. Oh, nobody wants to volunteer? Okay, I see Tuan. Great. So this is the game. How should I do this? Okay, this is the game. Tuan, can you show us with your face? Anger. Okay, let me see if I can spotlight you. There we go. Show us anger. Anger. Okay, now we'll get some real audience feedback, right? Does she look angry? Not really. Okay. How come? Yeah, of course she's cute, you know. But how do we do anger? Oh, okay. So can you show us more anger, perhaps? Like, okay, Tuan, so what I want you to do is, I want you to think about a time when you were really angry with someone. Like really, really angry with someone. Okay. What would you want to say to that person? Can you say it to that person? Or, well, say it to the camera?
So I will say now?
Yeah, say it now.
Yeah. Why you do this?
Okay, so that's a very soft kind of anger, right? Yeah, you're too nice. Okay, so part of practicing is we can think about mirroring or channeling. Now, I remember that guy earlier. Okay, let me go back to this guy, right? This guy. Okay, Tuan, can you show us anger? Do what this guy is doing. No. Don't give me a half version of it. Like full version, like. Okay, let's give her a hand, right?
This is not true of me. I angry sometimes, but I mean here I cannot show like how I, but because I think that I look at the computer, so.
Okay. I hear that. Okay. So no worries. By the way, part of my challenge also is I find it really hard to be angry, right? I don't like being angry at all. And it's just not something that I was able to display. So through practice and coaching, I was able to bring out that anger, right? So part of speaking is about not just knowing what feeling you want to show, it's about feeling that feeling and being yourself in the way that you show it. Okay, so if you're seldom angry, probably you're not going to give a speech about anger anyway, but all the same, well done. Okay, can we have someone else volunteer? Who was the second one that said earlier? Me. Second one was it Tui? Yeah, Tui. Okay, great. So your turn, right? Can you show us disappointment? Okay, I'm gonna pin you. Oh, sorry, spotlight. There. Show us disappointment. Does she look disappointed? Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to stop the share so that, you know, without the slide, you can all see the expressions better, right? Did she look disappointing? Let's see. Use the chat, right? Did she look disappointed? Yeah, generally. How come? So when you're disappointed, normally you're like looking down, your head is down, your shoulders are down, right? You wouldn't be, I'm so disappointed, right? Because the hands don't show it, okay? So this is where the whole body has to move. And yeah, is there a difference between disappointment and tired? Yeah, sometimes there is. But that's where the words and your voice, it all comes out, right? When there's a whole context to presenting this, okay? So now let's do next one, okay? This time we'll make it a little bit more challenging. Who was the next volunteer? Is it Sue? Sue, are you there, Sue?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here.
Okay, hi. So I'm going to drop you a message for the one you're supposed to do, and the
Okay.
audience must guess what is the emotion, okay?
Okay.
Can you see it? Okay, but you cannot say anything. Okay. Oh, sorry, I haven't pinned you yet. Give me a second. Aha! Add spotlight. Ah, now I can do double. Nice. Okay, and remove spotlight. Okay, I see. Yeah, exactly. Too excited. Right on. Excitement, right?
Yeah.
So how do we know she was excited?
She raised her hands and like cheering.
Yeah, like, yeah, good job. Okay, excitement. Cool. Next volunteer. Was there one? Who did I see? Okay, Bang, right? Cool. And the one you're supposed to do is I'm going to privately message you and let everyone else guess. Okay. Yeah, can you all guess? Okay, relax, relax. Don't laugh yet, don't laugh yet. You see charging, but judging, bored, confused, doubt, serious. Not quite, huh? Not quite. Like it's hard for him to see something. Doubtful. Well, okay, actually, it was worry. Okay, it was worry. But it's hard, right? Because some of us don't really worry in a very obvious way that we are worrying. But for the audience, it might not be clear to them. So let's see, right, from the audience. Anyone would like to try? How would you demonstrate worry? Anyone? So you're gonna go again? Okay, let me try this. Add spotlight. Okay. So, okay, between Bang and Susu right now, both of you show worry and we see. We let the audience vote. who is the bigger worrier? Okay, 1, 2, 3, worry. Yeah, how come no one seems to worry? Okay, so, yeah, so some of worrying, right? Okay, for me, what I would do is usually there's a bit of a head scratch because like you don't know what to do, like right. So for me, that would be worrying, right? I don't know what else. How would everyone deal with worry? Okay, I'm going to remove the spotlights. Let's look at gallery, right, and see what does worry look like for everybody. Ready? 1, 2, 3, worry. Okay, yeah. So it seems there's a lot of face touching. I see Machiko at the face palms, like, right? From Tom was, yeah. So now we can all see, right, what you can do to show worry. Okay, don't be in your speech going, I was so worried. What do I do? You don't look worried. Okay. Next one. Okay, can I have a volunteer? Volunteer. This one is easy. Do we have a volunteer? Yes? No?
Yeah, volunteered.
Oh, okay. 3 again. There we go. I'm going to spotlight. Okay.
This was
3,
Tra.
it's... Oh, what? Tra as well?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Maybe we should do a versus, right? So we can do 3 versus Tra. Okay, let's see. Add spotlight. There we go. So I'm going to message both of you. The rest of the audience, you have to guess, okay? This one is easy, huh? Hang on, I'm going to try. Okay. Okay. Ready and go. Okay. Now they're competing. I've highlighted them, Tra and Tui. So can you guess, or can everyone guess, what is the emotion here? I see tired, I see bored, confusion. Always the same thing, huh? No, no, no. Yeah, sad. Antonio finally got it, sad. Okay, so what makes them sad? Right, usually it's the looking down. It's, oh, yeah, did I miss that? Okay. Oh, yeah, she did. Okay. Yeah, so you usually, or you might even like, you know, do a sort of like a cry, a tear, you're like, yeah, so I mean, I know it looks kind of unglam to like scrunch up your face, but if that's what your crying looks like, yeah, that's something you can do. Okay. All right. I think that's about all the time we have. You know, I actually have a few more emotions that I wanted to play with, but I think, hang on. But I think at least you've all got a sense of how you can really use not just your face, your body as well, right? Maybe if you stood behind and then you let your body sag down a little bit, that might also show more sadness, okay? And by the way, just because you feel it, or rather if you feel it, usually it comes out a lot more clearly, right? This is what they call show, don't tell. It's one thing to show the sadness. It's another thing to tell people that you're sad. But this is how body works, right? And don't forget, when you add the tone of voice and they hear how sad you feel, it's different. Okay? Of course, there was jealousy, I told you so, glee or mischief, nonchalance. Yeah, all a little bit harder, but these are things that we can practice doing. Okay? So now you all know, hey, you know what? There's so much more to body language, right? Okay. So quite quickly, what was useful for you today? Since this is a workshop about confidence, right? Perhaps for those of you who really felt you learned something, could you just unmute and share what you learned so that all those who came in late, they know what they missed? Okay, would anyone like to go? Just unmute and go for it, right? We spoke so much about confidence and now no one has the confidence to share. What's going on?
Alright, I'm sharing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, let me stop the spotlight. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
All right. Okay. So everyone, I enjoy so much this activity because it gives me more confidence to do the things that I want to do. At the same time, I was able to identify more about engaging more audiences through the use of my body language, and how powerful is how important it is, the body language, in order to capture the audience. So thank you so much, Mr. Keen, for this very wonderful experience to be part of this workshop, and for Hanoi Toastmaster for this opportunity. I enjoy it so much. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay. Anyone else like to share what you got from this session? Okay, Tui. Cool. There we go.
I love this. This is awesome. I have learned, from this workshop, I think I'm an amazing speaker. That's the one I get, the mindset. And I need to say it more to myself so that I believe it, I live it, and I become it. And also other knowledge that you give throughout, the presence of our words, the tone, the body movement is really important, because most of the time when I prepare for a speech, I will use 95% to craft a script. Then also just prepare a bit on other things, but really need to pay attention to other things. And of course the skills. I really like the activities that you give today, so that I have chance to really practice what you said, and it's really feel how it is. Yeah, and it's motivated me to speak more. Thank you so much. And I really love to learn more from you. Thank you. And thank you, Hanoi Toastmaster, to organize this fruitful and enrichment workshop. I really hope that I can learn more. Thank you so much.
Cool. Okay, maybe one more person to share? Or perhaps if you don't want to unmute and speak, oh, is Antonio raising his hand? Oh, hang on, what's going on? Okay. Yeah, if anyone else wants to share, yeah, please put it down in the chat.
Can I say something?
Well. Yeah, please do.
Okay, I have a lot of audience here, just so you know. Yeah, both of my nephews and my niece, they love your speech as well. So, okay, so personally for me, a lot of the content I have learned also through my experience, but there's one thing that I learned from this training is the way you conduct the training. Like, it was so amazing how you turn every single piece of information into more like a questions and let the audience answer it for themselves. And then you just insert just a little bit amount of information, but it's enough for everyone to remember. And then with all the activities, it was so lovely. So for me, I actually enjoyed it. And I hope that I'm gonna see more of this coming from the division as well as from the Toastmaster training.
All right, thank you, Antonio. Very cool. Okay, so it seems like a lot of people are asking me whether, hey, you know what, can I get the slides and all that? Yes, you can get the slides. You can drop me an email here, kin@coachkin.com. Okay, yep, so I've put my email in the chat. Drop me an email, I will send you the slides, right? I hope you all got a lot out of today's workshop. I know we talked a little bit about confidence. You've got a sense of perhaps some affirmations you can create for yourself, the kind of speaker that you want to be. you've got more sense of how to use Zoom. And by the way, especially for Zoom, face is super important because your face is big, right? So work on that expression through your face, okay? And of course, there isn't enough, what do you call that? There's not enough time for me to share everything that I want to share here because we have limited time. But right before we move into the Q&A, is it okay if I just share a little bit more about an upcoming program that I have? Yeah, I'll just take 5 minutes. So quite quickly, yeah, I'm actually running this powerful presenter program, and it's going to be a 1-month intensive transformation, but just for 5 people only, right? I don't have space for more. So it's going to be a small group, 5 people. And in this group session, I'm going to have 4-pack sessions. So how to speak like a world champion, mastering your vocal delivery, right? Because voice is so important. How to craft your speeches, right? Crafting your masterpiece. And of course, to inspire through impromptu speaking. So table topics, a bit harder, right? But you can do it, and I'll be sharing all the techniques on how to do that as well. I'll be also offering speech presentation templates. So whether it's for a sales presentation, information presentation, or Toastmasters presentation, yeah, you can just get the structure there, put it in, fill it up, and you won't have to spend so much time on your projects, right? And of course, also a weekly Zoom Ask Me Anything. So for an hour, yeah, I'll be there to answer any of your questions, whether with regards to presentation skills, speaking skills, or, well, life coaching as well, since I'm a certified coach, right? And we'll be running a 30-day quick thinking challenge to help you answer questions more quickly. Now, I mean, I'm sure all of you speak at work, right? And if you get a question that throws you off, what do you do? So for all of you who are afraid of table topics, this is the point, right? To practice it every day. And I'll be giving a table topic with some ways to practice and help you stretch your thinking for 30 days, right? And of course, email coaching. Any other questions you have, I'll be happy to answer them. And of course, I know the numbers here look kind of scary, but this is what I actually offer corporates. But since this was an invitation from Cha and Hanoi and Hue Toastmasters, I cannot possibly do this for Toastmasters like this, right? So just for today, if you sign up by 3rd October, yeah, it's just going to be $88, right? 88 USD. And on that note, if that's something you're really interested in, drop me an email. I only have 5 slots, so I will get in touch with you by email, and I'll see whether you are someone who I do want to help out, right? I cannot give this to everybody, but if you are interested, please do drop me that email, right? The program will start in November, okay? And yeah, I think that's my email, kin@coachkinang.com. If you need the slides, please drop me an email. If you're interested in the program, drop me an email as well. 3rd October. Right? At least let me know your intention by 3rd October. It's not payment by 3rd October. Let me know. We'll work out the schedule because I want to make sure that the sessions work for all 5 of the people that will be working with me for this. Okay? Yeah. Okay. That's all. Thank you, Tui. Yeah. So please drop me an email. I'll send you the slides. And yeah, I think we have some time for Q&A. So I suppose the floor is open. Yeah, Tra, back to you to conduct the Q&A. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you so much, Kin. Thank you so much for your generosity, for your time, and also the really valuable and fun-packed training. You helped me deliver my promise because in every PR post I wrote like, promise to be valuable and fun-packed. All right. So now for the Q&A session. So we're going to start with the first question that I received from the chat box. Here is how to help every speech of yours have the same level of confidence. Is it like how to maintain the consistency of confidence for every speech?
Well, okay, so here's the thing about speaking, right, and confidence. I think part of it is when you know who you are, nobody else can shake you. You know what I mean? It's like if I know that I can do this, then whatever anyone else says is not going to make a difference because I know I can. So the question then is, of course, for different speeches, you're going to feel different. Maybe because the subject is different, the content is different. Or maybe at a work presentation, you're supposed to introduce a new product, but you're not confident about the product, right? Then how do you make it the same? So obviously you can fake it till you make it, right? There's this lovely video by what's the name? Amy Cuddy. I'm going to write a name here. Called what? Your body language determines your something, right? I can't remember the name of that, but search for Amy Cuddy TED Talk. Yeah, it's all there. And she talks about power poses and things like that. So you can do that, but remember, you also need to build competence, right? The ABC. So how do you build competence? There's many ways to rehearse for presentation. You can rehearse in the mirror. You can video yourself, play it back, and look at yourself in the presentation. I know it's not very nice, but you get used to it when you want to get better. You can, ask friends, right? Maybe get 3 or 4 of your Toastmasters friends. Hey, are you interested? Can you help me out with this? Let's set up a little group. I do a presentation, you give me feedback, and then you do one, I'll give you feedback, right? So get used to this stage time, get used to this presence. Yeah, and then it suddenly becomes so much easier. If you're wondering, and if you enjoyed my workshop, right? By the way, I've given, I think, close to 100 workshops to Toastmasters already. So obviously, after you've given 100 Toastmasters workshops and even more for my job, you know, it's normal, it's easy. I don't have to think about, oh no, what if I forget this slide? If I forget this slide, so be it. I'm human, right? Just carry on. The audience doesn't know what they're missing. If they ask me in the Q&A, I'll tell them later, right? You don't have to take yourself so seriously. Just remember who you are, focus on the message for the audience, and you're fine. Okay? Yeah. Anyone else?
Okay, I have questions. Go. Let me ask a question. Okay, so I have this question, and it's rather an honest question. Since I've been in a Toastmaster clubs for more than 2 years, but there's one thing that I think in Vietnam that is starting to form, that a lot of speakers, they are getting kind of like stray away from, rather than becoming a natural speaker, they're becoming more like a formulated speaker. You know, so everybody seems to speak in the same way. They're learning the same layout of the speech, and every time they're presenting themselves on stage, you know, I just cannot help it but feel like they are acting the speech rather than speaking it. So do you think that first, is it a good idea to practice? And second, how do we overcome that? How do we overcome from being, you know, an actor rather than a speaker? Like how do we become more like a natural speaker rather than an actor? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, Antonio, thank you for your question. I think that's something that I also struggled with a lot, right? So I've been in Toastmasters for, well, now 8 years and 3 months. And I remember what would happen for me, which is for my prepared speech in club, I would table topic it. So I wouldn't rehearse at all. I would know, okay, I want to talk about my dog. I have a general idea. Okay, first part, I introduce my dog. Second, I talk about the moment my dog dies. And then the third part, I will conclude and say, you know, life is fleeting. Treasure the ones you love. So just the structure in my mind, I'll go out there, I'll give the speech, like a table topic for 7 minutes. I'll either win or get second place in my club. Then when I go to the area, I'll get so stressed out because I'm in the area. So I must memorize, but I can't memorize. And then I'll get nervous and then I'll drop out in the area. So that's what happened to me for the first 7 years of my Toastmasters journey. This year, I decided, you know what? Everyone who speaks better than me says you must practice, practice, practice. So I said, you know what? Why don't I try something different? I'm going to practice. I just wanted to beat this one guy in my club, my last year's club president, Haider. Ever since he joined the club, I never won champion in my club. I just wanted to beat him. Turns out, to be good enough to beat him, I made it all the way to the district, to the internationals. So what changed? Practice, practice, practice. Then you say, what happens, but if you are a robotic speaker, then what? So my question to you then is, if you've memorized the words, did you memorize the feelings? Does it become natural for you to move your body in a certain way? Is it natural for you to speak a little bit slower? So if all of those things are not natural, that's why when you practice, 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 you still feel like a robot because that's not who you are. So what I would recommend then is, in the way that you've crafted your speech, don't craft it by typing your script first and then memorize the words and then say it. Because when you do that, you are writing for the eyes. You're not writing for the ears. Try this instead, right? Start with, I know the general idea of what I want to talk about. Do it like a table topic. 5 to 7 minutes, just talk to the camera, the way you would normally talk. Once you're done with that, watch the video, transcribe everything you said, and then you can see how your flow of thought moves. Because this flow of thought is normal for someone listening and speaking. Then change the words, edit a little bit, chop it, shorten it, lengthen some parts. Work with that, and you will find that your speech comes across a lot more naturally, right? So sort of like in this Q&A session now, obviously I'm not, I didn't prepare for your question because I didn't know what you're going to ask. So this is me speaking in a way that I know how to speak. Do I have a speaker persona? Maybe. Is it believable? Yeah, because I'm speaking from my heart. So in your speech as well, you want to be able to speak like that from your heart. It's just that certain groups of words come together in a way that you know how to speak. And then it becomes natural. All right. World champion Aaron Beverly says, what he did is he taped his speech and then he listens to it like his favorite song. So just like in a favorite song, right? You know the words, even without reading the lyrics, you know the words. Can you do that for your speech? You listen to your speech and, stop, look, listen, okay. Or whatever it might be, right? Another world champion, Presian Vasilev, right? 2013 world champion. What he does is, the minute he wakes up, before he brushes his teeth, he stands in front of the mirror with his sleepy face and does his speech. Right before he sleeps, he's really tired, he does his speech one more time. So that no matter how tired, how awake, whatever state his body is in, he can give his speech. Yeah. So that's what practice at the world championship level really means, right? Yeah. So yeah, perhaps summary. If you practice just a little bit, you might as well be more natural. But if you want to get to that level, you practice and you really, really practice. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Cool. Yeah, anyone else? Any other questions?
I think Don has a question.
Cool. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I would like to ask you about the confidence with the content, because whenever I'm clear about the message that I can speak freely and I believe in that, and how do you like build up your confidence with the content, or how do you sharp your message, and how do you like the way that you build up your confidence with the message that you want to say?
Okay, so let me just check that I got your question, right? So how do you build up your confidence for content that you're not so confident in?
Yeah.
Okay. This reminds me of a speech that I did when I was doing my CC manual. I was a very new Toastmaster. I did my speech on research your topic. And so my speech was on vampires. And I know nothing about vampires, right? Nothing at all. But what I did was I decided to just play and pretend to be a vampire. So I came up with some random, like, I am a vampire. I will suck your blood. And the audience just laughed and had fun. See, like some of you are laughing now, right? So I forgot half the speech and inside I was shaking. But because I was having fun and connecting with my audience in the moment, that didn't matter as much. Okay, that's it. Between a Toastmasters presentation and a work presentation, slightly different, right? If you're doing a sales presentation for the product, you can't really do that. But what you can do is to shift the conversation into really understanding what your audience wants. So if this is Toastmasters, you're allowed to have fun. They don't know what you didn't say, right? So for me, I really try to have fun as much as I can. And I hope you see that I've been having fun for this whole session so far. Because if it's not fun, like what's the point, right? All of you would switch off. Half of you would have left by now. But I'm having fun. You feel that energy? Yeah. They will forgive you for some mistakes. I can make some mistakes. Like earlier, someone said, hey, we didn't see Kin's slides for some part. What happened? Yeah, I forgot to share again, the last, like that one slide. But that's okay, I'm human, right? But were we connected? Yes. So as a speaker on stage, your job is to give the audience an idea of what's important. What did you want to say to them? When you focus on the message, it takes away the pressure from the person, right? So what's the message? What did you want your audience to get? Focus on that. And if you forget your words halfway, that's okay. You know, if you suddenly go, oh, I forgot my words, no. And the audience will be like, what? Then you disconnect. But if you, yeah, that word, you know what? I'll come back to it later. Anyway, so you treat it like it's nothing. They treat it like it's nothing. You treat it like it's a big deal. They treat it like it's a big deal. So don't treat your mistakes like a big deal. Okay, for this one, yeah, learn from Donald Trump, right? He doesn't treat his mistakes like a big deal. He just carries on saying whatever, and he just carries on and people still love him. Okay, maybe not me, but his fans love him. So maybe that's something that we can think about doing if we say something wrong in a presentation. That's okay. Either you clarify, sorry, what I meant to say was blah, blah, blah. And then you move on, right? Don't worry about what you forgot to say. They won't remember. I hope that gives you some confidence, right? Or if you need to, and if you're a religious person, yeah, before your speech, just pray to God or, you know, whatever you believe in and say, you know what, I've practiced, I'm worried, but I trust that you will make everything right for me. And just give up.
Yeah.
When you are not feeling the pressure, it's so much easier to perform. When you're not feeling the pressure, it's so much easier to have fun. Okay? Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay, cool. Any other questions?
Okay.
Yeah, Akulina, right? Yeah, please unmute yourself. Or host, can you help her unmute? She's still muted.
Sorry. Yes. Yes. What are the three things a good speaker should have in his speech? What are the three things, the most important things?
That's a great question. There are so many things that are important, right? But if you ask me, I think the very most important one, the most important thing is clarity of message. This is not something that we do very well, because when we are doing a speech, let's say if we're telling a story, normally so many things are happening. There's so many people involved. There's so many complex emotions. And because it's a true story, we feel like we have to tell it as it happened. But the challenge is, number one, you only have 5 to 7 minutes. Number two, the audience can only remember so many things, right? I know in this workshop alone, you may have enjoyed it. But if I ask you, what exactly did we talk about from start to end? You're probably not going to remember all of it. So what about a 5 to 7 minute speech, right? Some of us think, oh, because of this story, I'm going to give you the 3 lessons that I learned. No one will remember 3 lessons, especially if you don't talk about it before. Give them 1 lesson or give them 1 takeaway. If there's something that they must remember and take away as value for your speech, what is it? When you have that one thing, that one message, build everything else around it. Build the humor around it, build the dialogue around it, build what happened around it, right? So this is where a structure and a speech template really helps you, right? So that it can help you, okay, what do you want the audience to get? What is the story? How can I focus this story on supporting that message? And if the story doesn't support the message, change the story or change the message, right? Either one. But you want clarity of message. That's the very first thing, okay? Second thing, emotions. Oh, let me stand further behind. Emotions. Okay, let me make sure you know it. Emotions, right? It's really about the emotions. Like logically, we understand a lot of things, but until you hit someone in the heart, it's not going to work. Let me give you an example, right? For all of you audience here, how many of you know that exercise is good for your health? How many of you exercise every day? I see the hands dropping, right? Okay, for those of you who still exercise every day, great. for those of you who don't, logically you know it's good, but why do you not exercise? Is it when you wake up, don't feel like it? So a lot of our actions are based on our feelings. So what that means is your speech has to reach the feelings. How do you do that? Using your voice, using your speech, the way that you craft, how you focus your sentences, right? Your expression as you show it. All of those things will engage feelings. And of course, remembering that your speech is for the audience to hear, not just for you to say. So how can they relate it to their lives? If you're going to give a speech about, oh, my holiday trip to, I don't know, to Mexico, right? I went to Cancun, I had a great time. But what's the value for everyone else? If there's some speech value that you can give, that they can apply, oh yeah, I've done this before. Oh yeah, I've learned something there. It's how the audience takes that message and applies it in their life. This is what makes the speech stick, right? If you're not sure, watch all the different World Championships speakers on YouTube, right? You just search WCPS, right? WCPS. And then they will give you all the different first place, second place, third place, whatever, and you can just watch. Which ones hit the emotions? How did it go? Look at how they structure their sentences. Look at how they move their bodies, their faces. Then you see what emotion is. Or you can watch more Bollywood films, or you can watch more Korean dramas. All of those are great in bringing out emotions. That's why we watch it, isn't it? Exactly. So look at how they bring out emotions. See if you can copy the way that they do it, right? Like I remember watching Dangal about 2 years ago. Wow, yes. Just watching the story in Dangal, so much emotion, you know, the struggle, the pain. You see everything in their face. Even without saying it, you can see. So how can you bring that out in your speech, right? We had some practices earlier today, right? You can start with I can send you the slides. You can work on those emotions. Take a picture of that, send it to your friends. What emotion am I feeling? See what they say. And then you will know whether you're good at conveying it, okay? So that's the second thing. The third thing that you want to look at is having fun. Okay, now I know this is controversial, okay? Not everyone believes that life is all about fun. And I agree. Not everything about life is about fun. However, when you are presenting, your audience is now connected to you. What is the experience you want to leave them with? Do you want to leave them feeling hopeful? Do you want to leave them feeling angry? Do you want to leave them feeling upset? Yeah. So when you're having fun, your audience has fun. And if they have fun, they stick to you. So even in sad speeches, I don't know about you, but I've done one speech where I made the audience cry. After that, I felt so lousy, I didn't want to do it again. I let my fiance do that. She can make people cry. I'm going to make people laugh. Okay? So when I'm having fun, yeah, the audience has fun. So if it's a fun speech, have fun. If it's about asking the audience to take action, right? So you can think about the emotion you want to leave with them that perhaps makes them feel that, number one, they enjoyed it. Number two, they want to do something about it. And all of that comes in the way that you speak, all right? But you must have fun, or you must be in that moment, right? It's not just about the words, it's about being in the moment. If you're not in the moment, the audience can tell. Imagine if I started this session, fantastic evening, everyone. Xin chào. I'm here to conduct a training, and I hope you all enjoy yourselves a lot. I will give you everything I know. Okay? Let's start. Not very fun, right? I mean, it's not that engaging. So, like, be real in that sense, be in that moment. I'm here in this moment with all of you in this room. That's why I want to see all your faces so that I know this is a real conversation. If you think about your speech like a conversation, you're going to have fun. It's going to be real. And probably you get a blue ribbon as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay. Anyone, anything else?
I have one question. So you mentioned anchoring. So how do you anchor a certain feeling into a certain body movement?
So how to anchor certain feelings into body movements? Okay, so typically this isn't done in a group, right? Because that defeats the purpose. It can be done, but it's a lot harder over Zoom. So what you can consider doing for yourself is you can Google how to anchor feelings. You can also consider visualizing a certain image or picture or feeling, right? And you need to be able to see and imagine it clearly. And once you've done that, bring it to yourself, like bring it to your body, like maybe a certain part or a certain action. Yeah, you can anchor in a natural state. It's just that some anchors are weak and some anchors are strong. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. It's kind of like brushing your teeth, right? If you brush every morning, yeah, it's easy. But do you brush after lunch all the time? Maybe not. So the first few times you try to brush after lunch, it's kind of weird. But you do it every day, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger to the point that every time you have lunch, you know immediately after lunch, you're going to brush your teeth, right? That's the habit. So the idea behind the anchor is to create a subconscious link or habit to your brain and your emotions and your body, right? So you find that if you're feeling sad or tired, automatically your body goes something like that, right? You don't even think about it. That happens. So now you need to create something that shifts your body. Maybe it is like for one of my clients, this is hers. She's like, I'm so nervous. And then suddenly she's ready to wow the audience in a split second. So that's her anchor. What's your anchor? Think about a strong emotion or feeling you felt. Try to relive that and bring that image into that part of your body and feel it in your body. Right? When you have that, that's an anchor. But of course, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Okay? Or if I have to quote Bruce Lee, I do not fear the man who practiced 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who practiced one kick 10,000 times. So practice that anchor and keep using it, keep building on it until it becomes strong. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Bang. Okay, any more questions? Yes, no, A, B, C, D, E? Okay, if you can't think of the questions or somehow you haven't found the confidence to ask more questions yet, okay, do drop me that email. I'm going to write it down again. kin@coachkinang.com, or you can look for me on LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm trying to be everywhere. I don't like social media, but I know it's something that I need to do. So yeah, let's get connected. You have questions, feel free to ask me. And if anyone is interested in that program that I shared earlier, right, the Powerful Presenter program, but the cost is an issue, drop me an email anyway. All right, let's work it out. I'm committed to your learning, and I'm committed that all of you grow to become confident speakers with powerful body language. Okay? Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. I really, really hope you enjoyed this. I know it's getting late, but this has been the highlight of my week. I really, really had fun with you all. Thank you so much. Please go forth and shine. Okay, back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Cha.
Thank you so much, Kin. I've received tons of messages saying that they're interested in your course and also they've learned so much from this. And I really want to thank you for your generosity. I know that you charge $400 per hour, but you spend, I think, 2.5 hours with us for free. And that's really kind of you and generous of you. And I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. And guys, thank you for joining. And if you're interested, please drop Kin an email to sign up for his course. We have a great bargain as Toastmasters. So I think this is a really rare and precious chance for you to join the course. And also, if you have any question, just drop him an email at Kin. Yeah, I think Kin, can you kin@coachkinng.com. Okay.
kin@coachkinang.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
So thank you so much. And the slides will be sent upon your request. So just drop Kin an email and have a great night. we hope to see you again in our meetings and trainings. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye everybody.
Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Hanoi, Toastmasters.
Bye, everybody.
So excited.
Bye, guys.